Hi, and welcome to Changemakers with Eleanor, the podcast where we dive into the lives and lessons of those who are making a difference. I'm your host, Eleanor Baggaley, and in each episode we bring you inspiring stories from leaders, coaches, and people who are not just dreaming of change, but making it happen. Whether they're penning their first book, working in their community, or leading a revolution in their industry, you'll get a first-hand look at how they're shaping the world. If you're looking to leave a mark or simply love a good story about modern-day heroes, you've come to the right place. Here, we're all about changing the world, whether that's one person's world or the world in general. So grab your notebook or just a comfortable seat and let's explore these fascinating journeys together. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts to ensure you never miss an episode. Let's go change the world together. So I'm really excited that for this episode, I have a very lovely friend, Gail. So Gail, would you like to just let everybody know a little bit about yourself, a bit of background, where you from, what you're doing, things like that?
Hi, yes, I'm Gail, I'm 56, I'm from Frodsham near Chester. Live with my husband Mog, or fondly known as Mog, and my daughter Ellie, although she's at university now. She's 19, and our dog Wilf. He's a rescue dog that we got in 2019. I got systemic juvenile idiopathic arthritis when I was 5 years old, so that's really depicted a lot of my life. But I missed a lot of schooling because of it. But I managed to get a job straight after leaving school and did many different types of admin, reception jobs. And I love animals and had a horse at one time, which was fabulous because I just felt very normal being on the horse, and I felt like I was like everybody else. Adore nature and going out for walks, and but my disease has depicted a lot of my life. I eventually did do a degree as a mature student after meeting Mog. He encouraged me to go back to education, which was fabulous, really. And I ended up getting a job as a systems engineer, which was fantastic, and I was elated. It was a really brilliant thing for me to have achieved, given that I'd had a difficult childhood since 5, nearly losing my life at 7 with Reye syndrome, many operations and medication changes to try and stem the inflammation that was damaging my body, basically. So it was a fabulous achievement to get there.
It's fair to say you have had a number of challenges that you have had to overcome in your life then.
Yes, it is. Yeah, have had many challenges.
Can you put your finger on kind of any particular ones that are kind of particular challenges that you've had to overcome, or is it just general things kind of ongoing?
It is ongoing, and it's always changing, but I've always had to play catch up with the disease, which can be called Still's disease, for sure, and the inflammation can cause flare-ups, which can render you bedridden, can't walk. I had my first hip replacement at 18, so I've had many challenges over the years, ongoing. Could be weekly, monthly, a few times a year. It was just really hard to know when it would hit me, and obviously the damage now I've got in my body is quite significant. So, but I had to just carry on and get back up and move on with it, really. So.
And it sounds like you haven't, like, although you have faced a number of challenges over your entire lifetime, essentially, you have equally had lots of successes, obviously, going on to get that degree, to get a very successful job, to even be in a relationship and have a child. Because am I right in thinking that at one point you weren't even sure whether that was going to be a possibility as well?
No, it wasn't. We really didn't think we could have children because of me, not because of my husband. And it took us around 4 years before I managed to get pregnant. And we think that was because I had a break with the medication, because I had to have another hip revision in between. And they think that helped with regards to getting pregnant. So yeah, it was quite amazing moment when I realised that I was pregnant. So yeah, I never thought I'd be a mother. So
Yeah.
now I've got a 19-year-old daughter at Bangor University who wants to do medicine. So
And all the
yeah,
fun and games that comes with that.
yeah,
Yeah.
huge challenges, but yeah, very proud.
I don't know whether you see yourself as being a change maker, but obviously you're here on the podcast. Do you want to tell us a little bit about how the JIA has led to you doing what you're doing now, inspiration behind? Obviously, you've got a book out now, which I know has been a labour of love for quite some time. But yeah, do you want to share why you wanted to get to that point? Why you felt that you needed to write or wanted to write that book? What it was driven by?
I was driven by a number of things, really. During COVID, I was particularly low at one point, and Mog encouraged me to maybe try and write something about JIA to help other people. I love helping people; it gives me a real buzz, and I've done a lot with the Scouts and church, and do a lot of voluntary work. And I lost my job as a systems engineer because I was in and out of hospital, and it really floored me.
That must have been really difficult.
Was and it still affects me today, to be honest. And I felt my self-worth had gone downhill. I wasn't useful to anybody. My daughter was a lot older, didn't really need me as much as she did before. Um, and I was just in that mode of who who wants me? Am I useful to anybody? You know, the old demons that can hit you. And so when my husband said, "Why didn't you write a blog?" I was just like, "Oh no, I don't really do a lot of social media things." So that was a bit daunting. And then I just started to write a few words down, and it grew legs, really,
So
and
is
went
it fair
from
to
there.
say that it started as a personal discovery rather than doing it for others, or was that always in the back of your mind that you were wanting to do this to help others?
It was always in the back of my mind wanting to do help others, but I had to look at myself first, learn about my early childhood from my
Yeah.
brothers, because didn't know all of it because I can't remember it. Um, so it was self-discovery with the view to helping other people, really.
And that makes a lot of sense actually, because we quite often can't help other people until we do discover our true selves, essentially, aren't we? So that makes a lot of sense that you were needing to do that. So how's the book progressing then? Because where are we up to? We it's all published and out now, isn't it? So where's it taken you?
It's it's taken me 3.5 years to write it, which was a long time. But
But you know what?
yes,
You've written it at the end of the day, and I think that's something that's amazing to achieve. A very small percentage of people who have a book idea do end up writing it. So I think that is a big celebration point, that you have done that. So well done.
thank you, thank you. Yes, it was very. Champagne got brought out when my book was published in December. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great. So yeah, so how's it going? How's has it opened up anything for you? Have you had any surprises along the way? Where are you at with it now?
I'm getting lots of lovely feedback. I've had it's now in quite a few outlets for people to buy. I've had lovely emails from people saying that it's very inspirational, not just for people with JIA, but on all levels, really, in terms of motivation and resilience for whether you have a disease mentally or physically or not at all, just in life can be quite difficult. And one or two people were really lovely in their feedback. And I had an email off another lady whose daughter was in great pain and really wanted to read my book. And she's elated. She finds it very inspirational, but she can relate to it very well as well. So yes, it's been really good in that sense. I'm doing a talk to a book club soon who want to read my book and get it out to other people. So it's slowly starting to go in different avenues. And I'm in touch with the Rheumatoid Society, who have done an article for me in their rheumatoid magazine. And so I've now just joined the Versus Arthritis as a research partner. So
Wow, that's really exciting.
to really try and work with them on research projects and things. So
Oh, that's brilliant. So it's opened up quite a few different avenues and doors to you that presumably you weren't expecting that when you first started.
no, it isn't. It hasn't, and it's just wonderful to meet different people, talk to different people, help different people if I
I was
can,
going to
which is
say,
the
I
whole
guess
point of.
it's expanding the reach for you to be able to help people that you possibly didn't even consider when you first started it.
No, I thought it was just a very small niche of people that would want to read it and be helped by it. But I now realise that there's actually a lot more people out there that would find the book beneficial.
And I think
And
we talked
also,
about this when you were in the process of writing it, wasn't it? That it probably,
yeah,
although you have got that focus around kind of the JIA community, that actually you are potentially helping, and now you are actually helping. Now it's out there, so many more people. And do you have any insights into the ripple effect that it's had onto kind of other people beyond that, or I'm guessing possibly not at this stage in terms of you're probably still early days in
well,
your getting the feedback from the first kind of ripple of people.
it is early days for the ripple effect, really, but they are happening, and they're slowly. Um, I'm just doing it at my pace because it's taken a long time for me to write the book itself. So I'm just getting used to actually being a published author, which is
But I guess you have
hard
to
in
be
itself.
mindful. Yeah, well, yes. I guess you have to be mindful of the impact on you, given that you are still working with having JIA to deal with on a daily basis as well. So how much did that play into, or how much does it play into what you are doing on a daily basis, and how much impact did it have on the writing process as well?
It does have a massive impact on the writing process and on daily life, whether I'm writing or not. I never really know how I'm going to be each day, to be perfectly honest with you. But I do try my best to get something done that's motivational for me so that I feel satisfied. And when I was writing, it was quite difficult because I need to move a lot. Otherwise, I get even more stiff. And when I'm more stiff, it's more painful. And so it was little and often that I used to write. And then sometimes if I was really in that mode and I couldn't leave the laptop, I could end up sat there for 2 hours, and that was hard sometimes because I'd stand up feeling, oh, that was far too long.
Wondering whether it was
So
worth it.
yes, sometimes. I mean, at times, as you very well know, it was challenging with not just with my JIA, but with life itself, because you get thrown different
A lot of
curveballs, don't you?
curveballs, yeah.
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 As we all do. So
But at the end of the
it's
day,
not.
like, so you've been driven by this desire to share your story and help others. I say it was obviously initially within the JIA community, but even wider. That was what drove you to get to this point ultimately. Is that fair to say?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is definitely. And also my complementary medicines that I want to try and help get out there, um, which is another community through my book, which I do talk about in my book, which has helped
So
me.
you've not yet told us what your book's called. So go on, give us a clue. What's the title of the book?
Called Move That Pain, A Road to Resilience. And it's, well, I have a copy here.
Yeah, and I will make sure that the link goes into the details below for anybody that wants to find more about that and how they can access that. And you've been doing the complementary oils and things for a while, any as well, haven't you? And did that start from trying to help yourself? Because you've progressed to kind of pin people with that as well, haven't you?
Yes, I in 2017, I think it was, around about October 2017, I was at a particularly bad point, both with my JIA, multiple flares, month on month, week on week sometimes. And I'd been there before, got the t-shirt, um, but then I was getting a lot of infections and I was becoming resistant to antibiotics, and it was just becoming a cycle of just not being able to get out of, if you know what I mean. Generally, I know that if I do certain things, the end game will be positive and I'll be able to maybe have another couple of weeks or a month of feeling not too bad before it hits me again. But I wasn't even getting that, and I was becoming quite, I felt poorly most of the time. And I used to go to a yoga class, and I couldn't really do a lot of the moves, but actually just being in the class and doing the meditation and some of the moves gently. And a lady there did oils, but they're not just oils for nice smells, they're certified pure therapeutic grade oils for health. And I had a particularly bad day that day, and she gave me one, and I was like, oh, wow, what is this? Which was Clarisade on that particular day. And she was doing a workshop a week later, so I attended her workshop and learned so much about not only the oils that they do, but the supplements as well. And I'm not really somebody that makes a snap decision. I'm one of those people that need to ponder. But on that particular day, I knew I was in quite a bit of a hole with my health, and I had to take it into my own hands, really. I have fabulous support with the consultants. I have amazing doctors and consultants who are very supportive of anything that I do with regards to self-care. I've always been one for self-care. And so I bought them and I showed them to my consultant, who said, yeah, no problem. They're okay to go. I've never really, although I still have the disease, I have so much damage in my body now, I can't really get rid of. But the flares reduced, even though I'm on biologics, and I'm still on biologics and steroids, the flares did reduce. And instead of using antibiotics, I used the oils for the infections,
Wow.
and I got rid of the infections, and it became a preventative as well. So I had less infections, and I was elated. After 6 months, I definitely made a massive improvement in the infection department, and also the flares had reduced. So I've not really had an massive inflammatory flare since then. I do have flares due to the damage, um, and I can't get rid of that really. But the movement and the exercises that I do, the meditation and different things help with that side of things. So So I've explained a lot of that in my book, that I'd now do these complex, and I couldn't live without them. Literally, I use them every single day, and I couldn't not have them. I'm due to have a shoulder replacement, and I know I've got to stop them sort of a
Oh,
couple of weeks
okay.
before, so I'm not as well
Oh,
as
so it's
my
going to be a couple of tough
biologics.
weeks
Yeah.
then.
Yes, yeah. So I became a wellness advocate for them in the end, and basically tried to help other people with complementary medicine. And there's quite a few people that I've taken on board with a lot of uh, the information that I've given to others, and help them with chronic fatigue syndrome and lots of other different ailments.
Yeah. Oh, that's
So
amazing.
yeah.
That is amazing. So, what's your vision for the future then? Where do you see things going in terms of continuing to help others, whether it's through your books, whether it's through complementary medicine? What's your vision for the future?
Um, I'd like to link the two, really. I'd like to link the book and the oils together. Um, I'd love to expand out and help as many people as I possibly can. So I would really like to maybe make a small program of what I do as a lived experience to put out there to others, as an expansion to my book. And eventually, I'm in the middle of trying to write a small program at the moment. So, but that's a future thing. I have looked at proofreading as well. I would really like to look into doing some proofreading, because
Okay.
I loved the writing side of things, and I love the accuracy of it, and how you really need to focus in on words and punctuation, and how they're written and where they're written within paragraphs and chapters. Found that quite fascinating. So yeah, a number of angles I'm going at the moment.
And I say, so writing the books opened up other opportunities, again, probably ones that you hadn't even thought about in terms of the actual book writing process as well.
Yes, definitely. I've just got to be careful and mindful that I do it at my pace, basically.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
absolutely.
I'll go downhill. So, but yeah, it's exciting, and I'm really pleased with how it's going at the moment.
Yeah. Well, I know I don't have the same as you do, but I know I have a habit of overfilling my diary and then regretting it. So yeah, I kind of get where you're coming from a little bit in that perspective. Just making sure you look
Yeah.
after yourself, rather than putting too much on your plate and then making yourself feel bad for it. Um,
Yes.
so do you have any tips for anyone, whether they're coming from a similar background in terms of dealing with chronic pain, wanting to go out and make a difference, or even just people generally who are wanting to go and share their story or help others? Have you got any tips or anything that might help anyone in getting started?
In terms of chronic pain, my personal view is that you need to have a routine, um, both in terms of exercise routines, um, pace yourself throughout the day. Um, I don't always practice what I preach, but
Do any of us?
exactly. But movement, if there was one word, movement would be, and a healthy diet. Obviously, the oils and supplements are a massive part of my routine, but movement are, without a doubt, the reason why I can still move about and do the things that I do now. Obviously, the operations and the medication do that, but yeah, movement is
I'm
huge.
intrigued then, with the title of the book being Move That Pain, was there a hint on that whole movement thing within there, or am I reading too much into it?
No, that's the reason
That was the
it's
intention.
called
Okay.
Move
No,
That
I love
Pain.
that. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
Any tips for, like, would you recommend, if people are trying to share their story or make a difference or help other people, would you recommend writing about? I know you said it took you quite a while to do, but would it be something that you would recommend to others to write a book?
Definitely, definitely. Or in whichever medium you feel is easiest for you. I found going straight into doing a blog would be too hard for me. So I wanted to do it in a different way, and I found the actual process cathartic. If you go over your life and it makes you, like we said at the beginning, self-discovery, and I have found that very cathartic. So yes, I would encourage anybody to try and go, if they really want to share their story in articles, podcasts, any which way they want to. But yes, get it out there. If you want to help others, get it out there, because it really does make you feel good yourself. So you're doing good for others and you're helping yourself as well, because it's certainly done me a lot of good,
So I think it's
sharing
fair
my
to,
story.
yeah, it's fair to say that when you kind of set out with the intention to write the book, you didn't know what the process was. You just thought, I'll get the words down and potentially figure it out down the line, so to speak. So would you say, even if somebody doesn't know how to, whether it is to write a blog or get started on going on a podcast or write a book or whatever, do you think that should be a barrier for them getting started? Or
No, obviously with your help and other people's help, I have done it. I wouldn't have been able to do it alone, I don't think, because I hadn't had an idea of how to go through the process of writing a book. But I've had so much support, and there's programs like yourself that help you step by step, how to market, how to actually get the motivation to write the book. And it's it's
so would you
definitely something.
so whatever it is, would you say to put yourself with people who are on a similar journey, whether, and it might not necessarily be the kind of pain journey, but in your case, the book journey, or whatever it is that you're doing, would it be fair to say to actually surround yourself with the people who are on a similar journey has helped you to get to where you are?
Yes, without a doubt. I don't think I'd be here without that support. I have made so many lovely friends, um, because of that process in the book community. Um, and yeah, I wouldn't have been able to write it without them. Definitely not. 'Cause they're just so supportive and give you tips and encouragement. So yes, surround yourself with the same people, that are wanting to write, or whatever you want to do to share your story. So I've just contacted many different people, and I attracted myself to whoever I found, who have been really helpful for me, and as well as the charities and the Rheumatoid Society, who have also been very encouraging and helpful, in my book as well. So yeah, lots of people. Surround yourself with them.
Yeah, and we might have already covered this possibly with that bit as well, but how do you keep yourself motivated in going forward in kind of trying to achieve that vision of helping and supporting others and yourself, I guess?
It's a really difficult question. I don't know how I motivate myself. I just do. I don't like doing nothing. I don't like just sitting around doing nothing. I have to have a purpose. That's why when I lost my job, I found it very difficult. So basically, I have to have a purpose each day to motivate myself, to have a goal. Great to write things down, and so you can tick them off and have those small goals each day or week or month or year.
So you're always
Um,
looking at, you've got the reason why in your head and you're constantly looking at ways to fulfill that reason why, I guess. Is that fair to say?
yes, it is. Yes, I do try and manifest a lot of it in my head, as to what I would like to do, and how I would manage to do it. Uh, but I find writing things down very helpful. Definitely, it motivates me, because I can just read it each day and know that, right, okay, I've got that to do today, and I've got that to do today, and like we all do in a way. But I find that really helpful in terms of motivation. I'm really good at multitasking as well, so I can have quite a few things on the go at the same time. I think
Yeah.
lots of women
Tell me
can,
about
can't they?
it.
Yeah. um, yeah, so I just like to have goals, really, which that motivates me.
That's really nice, actually. A bit of a random question, just to throw it out there. I know you've told us a little bit about your background and your insight. Are there any fun facts about yourself that you want to share, other than the fact that
um,
you are a published author?
fun facts. Um, well,
Or something that might be surprising that people might not know about you?
I'm a I'm a biker.
I did wonder whether
I
that one was going to come out.
well, it had to, didn't it? Yeah, we're a motorbiking family. I've come from I grew up with motorbikes. My brothers had motorbikes, so they're not unfamiliar to me. And my husband is a biker. When I first met him, I'd been on bikes before, but not very many, due to my problems, really. Um, and I'd always found it quite hard to get on and off the bike. But when I met him, he had quite a good bike for me because it had low pegs.
Okay.
So I got on the back of that and just found it exhilarating. It was fantastic. So being a biker has been so much fun. I still go on it, but not quite as much these days. I do find it hard. It's more difficult to go on a longer journey, but I still go on the bike and I still
Oh,
enjoy
well,
it.
totally hats off to
Um,
you, because I don't think I would be brave enough to get on the back of a bike or ride a bike. So yeah, total hats off to you with that one.
yeah, I don't ride it. I go on the back, but it's fantastic and it's exhilarating. And a fun fact about biking is we went to the Hairy Biker. He did a ride for his friend who passed away, um,
Yeah, yeah.
and there was about 20,000 bikes there. And the bike that we've got at the moment, generally need a curb to stand on to get on. And that's not normally a problem, but I was surrounded by 20,000 other bikers in this service station and so couldn't find a curb.
No.
And this just shows you how wonderful the biking people are and community are. So I was panicking because everyone had started the bikes up ready to go and I couldn't get on the back. And these two bikers just came over to me and said, "Are you all right, love?" And I said, "I can't get on. I normally need a curb," because they could see that I was struggling. And literally within seconds, they both got a hold of me either side and I was launched onto the back of the bike. So yeah, that's a fun fact about some of the biking experiences that I've
Well, I'm sure you
had.
have many more stories that you could tell about that one. Maybe there's a
Loads.
book idea for you to
Yes,
continue.
yes, yeah.
Um, so tell us about where can we find your book, or find out more about you, website, social media, where can we find you?
I have a website. It's www.gailmolyneaux.com. I can be found on Amazon as well. My book's on Amazon. At the moment, it's in a couple of local bookshops around where I live. So that's where you can find a little bit more about me at the moment. I've got an author page, Gail Molyneaux author. So there's information on there as
That's
well.
on
So
Facebook, isn't it?
that's on Facebook. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Gail, for coming and joining us. Is there anything else that you want to share that we haven't yet covered today?
No, I don't think so. It's been really insightful. Thank you very much, and it's been very lovely. Yeah, just nice to be able to talk about my book and to share my story about um, movement and exercise, and yeah,
And
it's
oils
great.
and
Thank you.
biking.
Yeah, yeah, the whole thing. Yeah, yeah, great.
Yeah.
It's just great to be
Well,
able to share my book.
oh, well, no, I really appreciate you coming on. So thank you so much for joining us. And I'll make sure that we get all of the information shared about you so that people can find more about you and your book, and hopefully it will help some more people.
Thank you. Thanks, Eleanor.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Changemakers with Eleanor. I hope you're leaving as inspired as I am. If today's story has sparked something in you, remember it's never too late to start making a difference. Whether it's writing that book you've always dreamed of, stepping up in your community, or starting that campaign you're passionate about. If you enjoyed our time together, please consider giving us a rating and review on your favourite podcast platform, and share this episode with someone who could use a little inspiration. Your support helps us to reach more changemakers just like you. Join me, Eleanor, in the next episode for another deep dive into the stories of those who dare to dream big. Until then, be your greatest. See you next time.